All right. All right, here we go. Hi, everyone. It's Janine with Jet Travel and Tours coming back to you again. We are starting our fall travel talk series, and we are so excited to be kicking it off this fall series into winter with our friends from the Portugal Tourism Board. Katarina is with us today. Hi, Katarina.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me today.
Awesome. We're very excited because Portugal is one of those destinations that sometimes not everyone thinks about, but I feel like there's a lot of great insight, things to do and see, and I can't wait to hear all about it. So, Katarina, if you would start off by just telling us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, so I'm Catarina. I'm from Porto, from the north part of Portugal, and I'm currently living in New York, working for the Visit Portugal, the Portuguese Tourism Board. I started 1 year ago during COVID times. It was super challenging, but yeah, now we are open and I'm very excited to talk with us about Portugal and our wonders.
Awesome. We're really excited to talk to you today about it. So, we're just going to start off and hit you with the really hard stuff. And then the rest will hopefully be a little different. But you brought up that you started during COVID, and that's often a big concern that our clients have. They're like, okay, can I go to Portugal? COVID's going on. How does it look? Do I have to wear a mask? Not wear a mask? So if you would kind of give us a little overview on what it's like. Can US citizens go visit Portugal?
Yes. As of June 15th, Portugal is open to non-essential travel from the US, so all Americans are welcome to our country. For travel, um, US travelers must present a proof of a negative PCR test done with 72 prior to departure. But also, if they prefer to do a rapid antigen test, it's also possible, but they have to do it 48 hours prior to the departure.
Okay.
It's mandatory to fill out the passenger locator card before the departure
Mhm.
or on board. So yeah, this is the mandatory protocols to travel to Portugal right now to the mainland.
Got it. And those kinds of things, as we've been trying to keep our clients and friends informed, is that they kind of can change from time to time. So it's always good to like check out the Portugal Tourism Board if you're thinking about going, to know if anything's changed, because it obviously can. But everything looks like it's real easy to find online to exactly guide you through that. And we're here to help with that as well.
Yeah, that's true. At our website, Visit Portugal, you can find all the up-to-date information about the current restrictions or procedures to travel from the US to Portugal. And yeah, as you said, this is right on time. This is the current protocols.
Yeah.
But continue to answer to your question.
Okay.
The tourism as a whole is started to recover as countries reopen and more people become vaccinated. And Portugal is open and prepared to welcome tourists. And we have taken precautions to ensure the safety of our visitors and residents.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say that Portugal's tourism offer is waiting for you. Our nature, landscape, beaches, monuments, culture, and people are ready to welcome you back. Most business hotels, golf courses, restaurants, also shops, monuments, museums, tourism companies, and activities are now fully operating.
Okay.
And the tourism companies and the attractions also have implemented the health and safety protocols recommended by us and the Portuguese health authorities.
Okay.
So my advice for travelers is they should book also in advance, since there is limited capacity sometimes in some activities, restaurants or tours, and make sure that they can do a reservation prior in order to be there and to enjoy Portugal. Um, Also, face masks, yeah, it's still mandatory for indoor spaces and when social distancing is compromised outdoors.
Okay. Got it. So we can go to Portugal. There are some protocols that we would need to follow. And it's just pretty much to keep us and everyone else safe. So it's similar to what we're seeing here in the US right now.
Yes, exactly. I would say that In the mainland Portugal, now it's mandatory to present a negative COVID test to enter in some places.
Okay.
As you can see in the images, some tourism or all of the tourism accommodations upon check-in, also restaurants during the weekends,
Mhm.
some thermal baths and spas, casino and bingos, group classes and gym. To these places, yes, it's mandatory to present the COVID test to enter, but it could be the PCR or the antigen, or we have also the option to do a rapid antigen test using the self-tested method. So you can buy it at supermarkets or pharmacies. It's around €3, and you just have to arrive the place, do it yourself, and show that you are a negative.
Got it, John. Yeah. And I see on your slide here, because the big question that Americans often have, if I get there, awesome. But when I get back, I need a test to get back. And it looks like there's plenty of places to get testing to come back to the US.
Yes, that is not a problem for sure. In almost all pharmacies now, you can do the rapid antigen test with a report that it's available for traveling to US.
Okay.
So you can always check at our website as well if you want places, but you have a lot of options
Gotcha.
along all Portugal to do it.
Got it. Awesome. All right. Now that we talked about the not as the stuff, the elephant in the room right now, let's just learn a little bit more about Portugal. So, where exactly, if I'm going to Portugal, where am I going and traveling to?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you have the vaccination update. Oh, you took me here. Sorry.
No,
I
it's,
totally
it's
jumped
okay. We
ahead.
can go back. We can go back. Yeah, it's just to say that the vaccination in Portugal is running smoothly, and according to the health authorities plan, Portugal has 10.2, yeah, 0.2 million inhabitants, of which 6.3 million are already fully vaccinated. So we are doing great. And it was just to show some numbers
Yeah, no, but
as
that's
well.
awesome to see how many people in Portugal are fully vaccinated. So you can go there feeling more confident that the if you were there, the likelihood of you getting COVID is probably way less than in other destinations right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
So, but yeah, answering to your question, where is Portugal? Portugal is the most western country in Europe, and it borders with Spain. It is also considered a Mediterranean country due to the amazing weather, culture, and gastronomy. Just a few key data about Portugal. 60% of Portuguese people speak at least one foreign language. So it's really easy to speak and to be there. And if you need someone advice or even in restaurants, accommodations, it's always easy to speak. Portugal is a welcoming, I would say, friendly, safe, and tolerant country for everyone, independently of their religion's background and sexual orientation. And actually, we were nominated one of the safest countries for LGBTQ travelers. So, yeah, I just wanted to let you know these curiosities.
Oh, absolutely. It sounds like it has a little bit of something for everyone depending upon what you're looking for.
Exactly.
Yeah, awesome. So you said Portugal on border Spain. So how big is Portugal really when we're looking at her?
So, Portugal is a small country, the size of Maine in the US, I would say.
Okay, so it is really compact, very compact.
Yes, super. But the nice thing is super easy to travel around. You know, from the north to the south, it's more or less 5 hours driving by car. So it's really nice to travel around and for Americans to go and to see a lot in yeah, in a short period of time, I would say.
Okay. Nope. Awesome. And what's with all the islands? I love islands and exploring other places because I feel like they have their own little flair. So tell us about the islands that we're seeing on this map too.
So we have two islands in Portugal, the Azores and Madeira, and it's easier to get there as well. So it's more or less 2 hours fly from Porto or Lisbon to the islands,
Okay.
and you have like 5 flights a day, more or less. So if you want to combine one of the cities of Portugal with the islands, like for example Lisbon, I would say, or Porto, that are the main ones, It's super easy. Both of them are beautiful and super unique, with a lot of nature to see and a lot of culture also as well. And as you told, in Portugal, you can see different regions, all of them super unique, and you can get alone in a short period of time.
Cool.
Yeah, and I would say that for traveling around Portugal, I would suggest to do it by car, for example. Car transport is, of course, the best and most comfortable way to travel and to get to the most remote areas and also to visit the islands, as Portugal has the second best road system in Europe.
Oh, very cool. Now you said the best way to get around is to travel by road. Oftentimes we get nervous, and I'll even get a little bit nervous when they're like, "Oh, you can just drive." And I'll be like, "Oh, are we driving on the right or the left-hand side of the road?" Because that sometimes makes me nervous.
It's exactly the same as here.
Okay.
So yeah, we don't have that challenge, I would
No challenge
say.
that way.
So
Gotcha.
it's easier. And but if people doesn't like to travel by car, if they prefer like public transportation as trains, it's also a very good idea. We have high-speed trains and they are not so expensive, and you can do, for example, Porto to Lisbon in more or less 3 hours.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
it's also a good option.
Yeah, no, I love train travel. It's actually, especially if I'm in Europe, I'm like, I prefer going by train because you sit back, you get to see everything, and it's just, I feel it's another part of the cool experience you can have.
Yes, and it's also relaxing. You
Ah,
don't need to pay attention about a lot of things. So it really depends.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so tell us more. Now, you talked about Portugal, you talked about Lisbon, you talked about the Azores. What should we go or do or see? What makes Portugal so unique and so, I don't know, Portuguese?
So, as a country, Portugal has a truly diverse landscape and tourism experiences. The Portuguese culture, the UNESCO heritage sites, wine and gastronomy, nature as well, and beaches are but a few examples of what make it one of the top destinations for the US markets. From what we have been seeing so far, it doesn't look like there will be a major shift on the US demand for Portugal, although we are seeing an increasing interest in Portugal only tours and combining, as I told you previously, combining Portugal's main cities with lesser known areas in the country, for example, the islands, but also the coastal regions, and where you can do surf, for example, and a lot of outdoor activities close to the beach, or even other areas such as rural villages and their very own traditional ways. So yeah, I think it it it's you have a lot of different ways to travel in the country, and it's not only about Lisbon or Porto. You can see a lot if you are if you decide to mix different regions and different cities, because as I told you before, we have different offers
Gotcha.
for sure.
Cool. So tell me about this. I love, oh, you're going to take us through the different regions. I'm so excited. And just to warn you, I like to talk about food a lot. So just to warn you if that happens. So keep going, Katerina. I can't wait.
Really?
Yes,
Okay. Yeah, because I was like thinking about what is one thing or experience that people often overlook,
yeah,
and there are so many things to see and so many things to do, as I just told you, that it's a really bit hard. But I will try to go to through the different regions and try to speak just a little bit about each one.
love it.
So
Okay.
about 40 minutes from Lisbon, there are iconic small towns and villages to explore, such as Mafra, with its famous 17th century palace convent. On the seaside, the traditional fishing villages of Azenha do Mar and Ericeira are the perfect excuse to try the fresh fish and shellfish dishes and surf. So, yeah, it's not only about the capital and about the cultural and the monuments that you can see, but around the city, you also have amazing places to go and little villages.
Very
I
cool.
would say that in the center of Portugal, there are two of Portugal's best kept secrets. The schist villages, a trademark of the region, are all connected by their traditional building unique techniques that are unique and using the very rock that gives their name, the schist. We also have the historical villages, that's the second secret, that are a network of 12 unique medieval villages. The name are Batalha, Alcobaça, and Tomar, are home to 3 World Heritage Sites, Monastery of Batalha, the Monastery of Alcobaça, and the Templar Castle and the Convent of Knights of Greece, respectively. We have all this information in our website as well. So if I'm speaking too fast, and if you want to know more about this, you can always go and check. Also, we have Aveiro, that's a beautiful city. Is Portugal's heart Nova River city that you can visit by a muliceiro, that is a traditional boat tours. You can lost in that beautiful city, or you can also go to the beach Costa Nova, that is like 20 minutes away from the city center, that is known by the strip fishermen cottage and the famous porcelain manufacturer Vista Alegre factory. So about Alentejo, this is for sure a must visit. Porto Covo, Vila Nova de Mil Fontes, Alvemira, Zambujeira de Mar are typically fishing villages on Alentejo's protected coastline, known for their amazing beaches, surfing, and water sports. Ooh. On the countryside, you also have Alter do Chão, is where the Cavalaria Real, the royal stud farm, was founded in 1748 by King João V to help to protect the Lusitanian horse breed, that is a specific breed from Portugal. The fortress of Elvas and Évora, it's a historical center and is considered a World Heritage Site as well. Close to the border with Spain are the charming medieval villages of Castelo de Vide, Marvão, and Mértola. This is we also have here the picturesque and traditional areas. For example, Porto Alegre, Borba, Redondo, Vidigueira, Reguengos de Monserrate. It's hard.
I was gonna say, no one should be taking notes, and I don't expect I'm like, this is just a great, like, get a feel for everything. So,
yeah, sometimes it is not so famous, and it's nice to hear about different places to go and to visit that are not so well known.
Yeah,
or that
hidden gems. Let's call them hidden gems, because that's what they really are, to find those little small communities or towns where you're like, you can tell it's still very authentic, and that's what it sounds like these small communities are, and I love that.
Exactly, that's amazing. So yeah, about Porto and the north of Portugal, I will say that Braga and Guimarães are both beautiful cities, about 40 minutes drive from Porto. You have the Douro Valley. In the Douro Valley, you also have lesser known areas of Miranda do Douro and Foz do Goa that gained international recognition after the discovery of a series of rock paintings and carving dating back to the Upper Paleolithic times. Yeah, Viana do Castelo, Bragança, Caminha, Ponte Lima, and Casa de Mateus in Vila Real are another example of small villages not to be missed for their traditional architecture, gastronomy, and festivities. This is all in the really north part of Portugal, almost close to Spain.
Okay.
So yeah, and about Algarve, that is the southern part. I will say that it's very famous because of the sandy beaches and the long promenade. It's fishermen villages, but I just want to specify 4 of them: Algeciras, Algesur, Faro, and Tavira, that are my favorites.
Okay.
Yes, starting with the islands, we have Madeira. Madeira Islands are a heaven of natural beauty. The exotic colors of the flowers stand out from the blue sea and the emerald green vegetation. 2/3 of the archipelago is protected area and home to the largest Lauris sylvia. That is a specific type of florist. Yeah, and this is home to the largest one in the world.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, as you can see in the pictures, it's
stunning.
It's an amazing island.
Yeah.
And yeah, finally we have the Azores. That is also heaven for looking to put their hiking boots to work. 9 islands designed by nature with more than 60 hiking trails and surrounded by marine life. In Azores is a migration route for over 40 cetacean species and has one of the largest whale sanctuaries in the world.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah.
That-
So yeah, talking about it's really hard to say just one place about Portugal. We have so much things to see that yeah, I try to keep it small, but
No, you did
it's hard.
great. I can see why it would be hard because it looks so diverse in such a small country. It's so gorgeous. So it's just like, how do you pick where to go? Yeah. So
Yeah, it's hard.
yeah, I can't imagine. So talk to me about this. Are there any unique kind of do we kind of talked about unique experiences you could do. Azores, you can go hiking all over the place, so it's definitely person adventurous. Um so flamenco dancing. Are we ready to talk about that? So I might be jumping the gun a little bit. But there's some I've always read about flamenco dance and I've wanted to see it, and I've also heard about how great your food is. So are we there yet, or do we have to wait a little bit before we talk about that fun stuff?
No, let's go.
Okay, cool.
Let's go to talk about food.
Okay. Because I mean, Portugal is known for its wine. No holds bar about that. That is totally on point.
So yes, for sure. I will say that actually the must do's for a traveler in Portugal is eating a pastel de nata, that is the custard tarts, with an espresso,
Ooh,
drink a Porto wine or Portuguese wine with some traditional Portuguese dishes, I would say, and chill out at the beach. This is my favorite three things to do.
okay.
And about food, I would say that it's really hard for me to decide one dish because we have like really good meat, we have really good fish, we have a little bit of everything.
Mhm.
But if I had to choose, I would say arroz de marisco. That is a seafood classic from the Portuguese cuisine. The
Okay.
dish usually comprises a variety of shellfish like shrimps, clams, and mussels,
Okay.
with peppers, tomatoes, fresh herbs, and short grain rice.
Okay.
But I love any grilled fish from Portugal with tomato rice, so I'm not so hard to, to eat.
You're not
Please.
picky, right? I should have eaten before we did this talk because now all of a sudden my stomach's starting to growl a little bit. Because, like, if you talk about seafood, I'm there. It doesn't even matter what you put with it, I will try it.
So you're going to love Portugal because
Perfect.
since we have a long coast, in the two islands, we always have really good seafood.
Okay. Awesome. So for seafood lovers, this is the place. This is one of the places to add to your list.
Yes, for sure.
Awesome. So, sometimes when we talk about destinations or countries, there's like one thing that people talk about doing and seeing. I don't think you can do that for Portugal, can you?
Sorry, I think it's impossible because
Okay.
I think we have space for everyone and
Okay.
for all the different likes. And if people want more adventure, of course, we have like the hiking, the climbings, we have huge mountains, huge outdoors, and also the aquatic sports. But if people like more to relax at the beach, for example, we also have that option. And we have the culture as well and the small villages. So I think we have space for everyone to enjoy the country.
No, I love it. So cool. So, you kind of told us about your must three to do. Your favorite Portuguese dish. We've checked that one off. So, if I was to bring someone a gift from Portugal, what would I be bringing them back?
I think I will
Oh,
speak about food again.
are those the
No,
foods?
but it's because of that. Because I think the perfect gift for someone to bring from Portugal is food. So if I have to choose, I say pastéis de nata, the custard tarts, to share with family and friends, and maybe some wine also.
Okay.
I would say that it will be the perfect gift.
Okay, so in those tarts, is it like a custard or what is exactly in besides the pastry? Are those tarts full of?
So it's a combination of egg, sugar, and milk, and it's super good.
That's all you need to
Super
say.
tasty. Yeah,
Gotcha.
but actually wine it's also a good present. We have different regions of wine and specific wine, like specific red wine and different types. So it's really hard to choose, but I think it will also be a nice present. Or for example, the wine from Madeira or the Porto wine. There are specific wines from Portugal that you can find in a lot of places. So it's also a unique present.
Very cool. Awesome. So, where are we at with everything? Oh, if someone's coming to Portugal, what is one thing we cannot forget to pack? What's one thing we have to bring with us?
So I would say an open heart and curiosity to learn about the different country and culture. For sure, I think that is important. And then the more obvious stuff, of course, sunglasses and sun cream, and a nice pair of choice for walking around, and the camera.
Okay.
At least for me, I always travel with a camera to remember after the places that I went.
Right. Yeah, because when it starts snowing in a couple months, we want to look back and look at those beautiful green pictures and all that fun we had, right?
Yes, but actually, in Portugal, we have we don't have a lot of snow. Portugal has very mild winters and hot summers, so it's a perfect destination all year round.
Okay.
I would say that December, January, and March
Mhm.
are the rainiest months. Since it is winter time, but still it's worth it.
Gotcha. And when you say it gets warm out, like how hot are we talking? Like we walk outside and we're instantly like fanning ourselves, sweating. Like how hot are we talking that it gets in Portugal during the summer months?
I think it depends on which city,
Right.
because in Porto you can arrive like more or less the 20, 27, 28 degrees, I would say. Celsius degrees, sorry.
I figured you were going Celsius. That's okay.
Okay, perfect. But in Algarve, the southern part, yeah, you could reach the 32, 33.
Yeah,
But
that
yeah, I think it's okay because it's not so humid.
oh,
It's hot summers, but you can handle for sure. It's
got,
nice weather to go to the beach and to refresh yourself on the water.
got it. You get those nice ocean breezes and you're fine.
Yes.
Got it. Awesome. So we kind of talked about the best time to visit rainier seasons in the winter, summertime, it can be warm, but it's not nothing you can't deal with. Um, so you talked earlier about planning in advance, especially like right now, just because there's some limitations. What are some other things people should think about when planning their trip to Portugal?
I think it's mm, I think it's important for sure to plan the restaurants and the museums, as I told previously, because now there is sometimes a limited um, people that come in. So it's nice to check before the places where you want to go, to check the availability and if is it possible to buy tickets before. There are some, yeah, there we try to have a safest the safest protocol. So we for sure we don't want crowded and we don't want people feel that they are with a lot of people. So we prefer to have the experiences super unique and that everyone feels safe. So I would say that's for sure that's the most important thing, is to book and to see, to check where the places they want to go in advance. And also because in that way you could enjoy all the days and plan whatever you want to do in Portugal. But don't forget to enjoy and to relax at the beach. Or, for example, to drink wine and just have like farm to table experiences and enjoying the vibes, because it's not just about like doing a lot of stuff to see a lot of things, but also to enjoy the people, enjoy the food, the wines, and take time to relax
Got it.
for
Just step
yourself.
back and like just be grateful and absorb where you're at and just be in that moment instead of just being rush, rush, rush like we always are.
Yes, I think that's important as well.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, where are we? I diverted. I told you I'm really bad at keeping on track, Katarina, and
No,
I
I think it's perfect.
okay,
I
cool.
think we said a lot and we talk a lot about Portugal actually. So
Yeah. And if anyone out there after watching this, if you have specific questions, you can obviously go to the Visit Portugal site. Let us know if you have questions. I can reach out to Katarina and get those questions answered. But
sure.
is there anything else we haven't talked about that you want to share about Portugal right now?
Um, I would say that don't go just visiting Lisbon, there is so much more to do in Portugal. So try to take the most of your time and enjoying all the wonders. You asked me actually you actually a good question.
Okay.
What destination is in your bucket list, right?
Yes. Yes.
And I just want to mention that Ways of St. James,
Okay.
the Portuguese way, that is the Caminho de Santiago. It's on my bucket list. I think it's a very unique experience.
Okay.
The Caminho de Santiago that cross Portugal from south to north have been followed by pilgrims for centuries. And I truly believe that taking them is to set out a discovery not only for my country but also for myself too. And yeah, I just wanted you to let you know about this destination and this trail that is super unique.
How long is that trail?
So it really depends the time that you want to do
And
it.
like you can only pick like to go a couple hours or you can go like
No hours, but I would say like 1 week.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of
Yeah,
hiking. Okay.
walking through Portugal and then Spain all the way until Santiago de Compostela.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, if you want to do just one day, you can choose a part and do it and enjoy the views. But yeah, this is like a different thing to do in Portugal for sure.
Very cool. That would be awesome to see. All right. So that looks exciting and something I never even realized was there. So that's awesome that you shared that. I love the little tidbits, especially since you are that's your home. So you have that information, that stuff that we wouldn't normally hear about. It's not the stuff when you hit Google that you see it right away. You know what I mean? You're getting that inside
Exactly.
track with you. I love that you're sharing that with us today.
Thank you. It was really nice to be
So
here and to speak about my country.
awesome. And so, as we're wrapping up, where are you looking to maybe get out and travel to next? Do you have something next or booked in the future that you're looking to do?
Yes. But do you mean internationally or in
Doesn't
Portugal?
matter. Does not matter.
Okay, so I would say in Portugal, it's Azores. Azores is a beautiful island for adventure holidays, outdoor activities, and contact with nature. And
Okay.
I'm looking forward to climbing Pico Mountain, discovering Terra Nostra Park, hiking the Sete Cidades, and getting lost in the island's blue and green landscapes, I would say. But the Azores is also a perfect destination for relaxing. So I want to go to the springs of natural carbonic water, waterfalls, and iron water pools. And I'm excited to go there for eating because the Azores traditional cuisine is a delight. I
Ooh.
want to try the famous tuna and the meat dishes called cozido das furnas, unique for being cooked under the ground, harnessing the heat that the earth retains in the part of the islands of São Miguel. This is a very unique experience. And I'm looking forward to New Azores. I never got the chance to go there.
Oh,
And
cool.
everyone talks that is an amazing place to get lost and to also for your health, for enjoying a relaxing holidays. So I would say that's in Portugal. This is for sure my next travel destination. Around the world, I would say maybe Costa Rica. It's also, I don't know, but I think it remembers me, Costa Rica as well. The Azores are super green and blue, and the idea that I had that about Costa Rica is the same.
Oh, very cool. And so you were talking about some springs when you were talking about the Azores. Is that that upper picture on the left-hand side that it looks kind of like yellow? Not, yellow is not the right color descriptor, but is that one of the mineral like
I would say like earth color, right?
there you go. Yes. So, but that's
Yes.
like one of the springs you were talking about.
Yes, this is one of the parks.
Oh, very cool. And you can just go, you can go like just relax and hang out in there.
Yeah, I should book before, but it's also good for your body, and the properties of the water
Yeah.
helps you. So it's a thing that everyone for sure could put in the bucket list if they're going to travel to Azores.
Oh, very cool. All right, awesome. Katerina, we have gotten through everything. We're so good at this, especially the first time out. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we kind of wrap up?
No, but let me know if you have questions, and if you need our help for anything. You can always go to our website, or you can send me an email through, for example, Janine. So yeah, I just wanted to thank you for letting me be here to speak about Portugal, and it was really nice to meet you, Janine.
No, it was awesome. I really appreciate this, sharing your time and your deep love of your country, obviously with us. And I look forward to hopefully talking with you a little bit more. And for all of our friends out there, remember this is just the start. So keep watching. Every Tuesday, we'll do another travel talk for the rest of the fall at least. Hopefully, we make it all the way through the winter. But more to come on that. So with that, we will say goodbye. And how do you say goodbye in Portuguese?
Adeus.
Adeus?
Adeus. Yes.
Gosh, so horrible. So, well, we will say goodbye to you. Thank you, Katerina. Have a great rest of your day as well.
Yes. Obrigada.